a 7 meter. Why can it only be sold online for 9.9 yuan? It can be sold for thousands of dollars in Japan. This is a heavy metal cup of cold powder. Skills sweeping the local area. It is also a symbol of becoming rich. Today we will visit Osaka Nishiki Company, Ltd. Detailed disclosure of the past and present of Western craftsmanship. The first step in making the Western monument. Workers first cut the thin strips with a purity of more than 97%. Place in a 400-degree electric oven. Wait 3 minutes. The suction strip will change into liquid form. Then fix the furniture on top of the ring mold. Use a small spoon to remove surface impurities. Take the extremely high purity water from the inside. Slowly pour it into the injection hole. Wait for water to overflow the edge. The worker will take out the chopsticks and place them at the bottom of the mold. Make the water absorb and fit the mold faster and solidify into shape. It takes less than 10 minutes. If you inhale metal, you will return to your original India. At this time, the worker can remove the upper mold. Then use pliers to take out the Western cup and put it aside. Workers also need to hold a thin cup. Check from inside to outside. If this step is defective, it will be thrown directly into the furnace for secondary smelting. A cup with good appearance. The workers will stack them upside down and wait for natural cooling. Then take out the special ring-shaped wooden barrel, installed on lathe, and hit with iron. A simple triangular chuck is formed. Started to produce the first large suction cup. This is composed of 2 splashes. The workers will first buckle the upper and lower parts together. Then use a hammer to tap each edge. Just a moment. A cup that is narrow at the top and thick at the bottom comes into view. Next, then place the strips of paper 1 centimeter apart. Placed on iron plate. Use a brush to wet each piece from beginning to end. Make the paper as soft as possible. Later fixation will make it fit better. Let's take a look below. The specific purpose of this note. The worker presses with one hand and stretches out with the other hand. Only leave the middle protruding part. Now from the furnace, take out the heated tool. Place it on the northwest ridge and weld it slowly bit by bit. At this time, you will find the magic of paper strips. Mainly for heat insulation. Avoid melting the sides of the tool. This is also a very technical part. What do you think of this welding process? Then tear off the paper, installed on wooden barrel, and ensure the center position. And take out the turning tool that can cut through iron like mud. Place it on the raised area and press down hard. The surface is neat and smooth in an instant. There is no trace of welding left at all. If such a master is placed in China, can I get a monthly salary of over 10,000 yuan? The worker took out a tarpaulin. Wipe slowly from the inside out. Brightness and smoothness after a while. I'll get a mole lift. Just a thin cup like this costs hundreds of dollars. Can you believe it? Enter the second most difficult cup making process. This cup has a very strange name. It's called the Mount Fuji cup. First, dip the brush into the natural pigment. Continuously paint along the Biku mountain. Make every gap. Fill in as much color as possible. Use a rag to lightly wipe the surface. Allows the pigment to set faster and adhere to the metal. And this cup is very meaningful in design. The mouth of the cup is the bottom of the volcano. The bottom of the cup is a volcanic crater. That is to say, the crater is covered with the bottom of the cup. No wonder sales are so good. If the mouth of the cup is a volcanic crater, sales will definitely drop. Drinking water increases stress. After all, Mount Fuji is an active volcano. As a Japanese, they must be trying to cover the crater. At this time, the inside and outside of the cup are cut under. Let's take a look at the finished product of this Mount Fuji monument. Doesn't it look similar? A covered volcano. Do you recognize any of the strange-looking tools in front of you? This is the specially customized hammer. Because this monument is the most difficult, it takes 500 hammer strikes to form a so the hammer surface will have strange patterns. Each tap leaves a pattern. To create the ultimate beauty, the pattern on the cup body is different from the pattern on the bottom of the cup. The pattern on the bottom of the cup also has a certain anti-slip effect. In the blink of an eye, a cup was made. Finally, let me tell you why we wash cups. It will turn into a pile of powder when it gets cold. It is said that the Russian army issued a batch of winter clothes. The weird thing is that every piece of clothing is missing a button. As the Tsar was furious, a scientist jumped out to preach. Tin foil buttons will become diseased at -40 degrees Celsius. It becomes a pile of white powder. Do you know why tinfoil is so famous? Will it be called poisonous tableware by Chinese people?